Welcome to Great Propaganda, where we discuss the lies, falsehoods, and politics of the mainstream media. As always, I will cut through the propaganda and summarize the news for you. Today we have an article from Fox. Former Attorney General Barr dumbfounded at Department of Justice's decision to release a letter of Trump's would-be assassin. Bill Barr says it served no other purpose than risk of inciting further violence. And I couldn't agree more. It's so weird that I've never seen in my life a manifesto shown just for the whole entirety, the whole manifesto on mainstream media for everyone to see. And now multiple news networks are showing this, multiple. RYAN ROUTH'S Manifesto, where he offers $150,000 to anyone who can, quote, finish the job. I'd imagine most people are smart enough to know they will never see that money, and they shouldn't be doing this. And I don't think anyone would do it. But the crazies, I don't know. There's always that risk of inciting further violence, and I definitely see this as increasing the risk of violence. But now let's watch the video to catch everyone up on this would-be assassin's situation.
Man accused of trying to assassinate former President Trump last week in Florida is due back in court today, where the judge will consider if he should be released on bail. Ryan Wesley Routh is currently facing 2 federal gun charges, but are more charges on the horizon. Joining us now, George Washington University law professor and Fox News contributor, Jonathan Turley. Hey, Jonathan.
Hi, Ainsley.
Hi. So right now his charges are just trying to erase the serial number on his gun, and he wasn't supposed to have a gun because he's a convicted felon. But the Secret Service did a great job. They eliminated him from being able to kill the president or try to at the next golf hole. So do you think because they did a good job, this guy's going to get off easily, or do you think the charges will be stiffer?
No, in all likelihood, if he's convicted, he'll die in prison. First of all, those 2 charges come with a hefty maximum, and that is 20 years. And he's interesting in one sense that's going to drive the defense counsel to distraction, and that is he's all aggravators, no mitigators. And what I mean by that is usually you've got something to try to lower that potential sentence on these types of crimes. He's got only aggravators. And so it's going to push it towards the maximum. But these are not going to be the only charges. We're all waiting to see if the government brings a Section 351 charge, which is a conspiracy to assassinate the president. It covers other federal officials. The question there, Ainsley, is did he go far enough to qualify as what we call an attempt? You're right. They did a really good job. They stopped him before he could pull the trigger. But did he do enough to trigger that provision? I think he probably did. There's also the possibility of a 115 charge, which is an attempt to kill a former federal officer. They could bring that and say that he was being targeted for his prior federal service. Mm-hmm. There's also the possibility of a terrorism-related charge. The Department of Justice has been very broad in defining that. All of that is going to be piled up. We expect that there will be more charges, and he will be likely looking at least one with a life potential sentence.
So this is what the Florida Attorney General said, expecting more charges to come. Listen.
At this point, the federal government has charged 2 gun crimes related to the apprehension of the suspect and the charges that followed and his detention. Obviously, as we all know, this person was lying in wait to assassinate President Trump, and we believe the evidence will show that. And so a more serious charge that would carry with it a lot more weight than these 2 gun charges will be forthcoming.
Do you agree with Ashley Moody? Doesn't this come down to a case of intent? I mean, he had the gun there, the scope, he had the backpacks, he was ready.
I think it does, but the Justice Department tends to hold back. We're going to be getting in the next few days probably an insight in what they have. They're probably building that conspiracy case. They don't want to go forward until they're ready to do that. They've got him. It's very unlikely that any judge is going to release this guy. Now, Florida brings attempted murder charges. Those are probably going to take a back seat to the federal charges, and they may prove redundant. He may get multiple life sentences. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't bring the charge or that they won't. But I expect the Department of Justice right now has a number of things in the pipeline that's going to radically increase the potential sentence for this guy. And I think that he is, at this point, the odds are in favor of his never getting out of prison, because I doubt the judge is going to release him on bail.
And Jonathan, we don't even know what the evidence they have against him. I mean, he could have written, I don't even know if he wrote this on social media, that I want to kill the president. I know that nurse spoke who served with him in Ukraine and said he wanted to kill everyone. We don't know what he said on chats online or what he's written in emails. What if he said, this is my intent?
Oh, I think then you've got what you need for an attempt under Section 351. And this guy's record is that he was not exactly subtle. He seems to have gone to everyone to say, I'm a locomotion of destruction. I'm going to kill this person or that person. We can expect that pattern continued. So the assumption is the Justice Department is sitting on evidence right now of people they've interviewed, social media, and that they're likely to stick this landing on a type of Section 351 charge for an attempt to assassinate the president or conspiracy to assassinate the president.
Yep, I know you wrote about this in your new book. What's it called if people want to pick it up?
Yes, The Indispensable Right talks about the cause of all this, which is rage rhetoric. And, you know, the head of the Secret Service said we can mitigate threats, we can't eliminate them. The threats are coming.
Now the article continues with former Attorney General William Barr said he was dumbfounded about the assassination attempt. Ruth is the suspect in former President Donald Trump's second foiled assassination attempt. The DOJ obtained the letter from a witness who says they received it inside a box delivered to them by Ruth several months prior to the assassination attempt. The box contained several handwritten letters as well as ammunition, among other things. One of the letters addressed "Dear World," admitted to an assassination attempt on Trump. He also offered money to anyone willing to finish the job. I was dumbfounded. The Department of Justice made public this morning the contents of that letter. Brian Ruth left with an acquaintance prior to the attempted assassination of former President Trump, Barr said in a statement to Fox News Digital. The letter calls on people to finish the job of killing President Trump, attempts to rouse people in incendiary terms to do so, and offers $150,000 to anyone who succeeds. There was no apparent justification for releasing this information at this stage, he continued. The article continues to explain who Bill Barr is and Ryan Ruth and his charges and his situation. So most of that was covered earlier and during the video. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.